Alright, so hopefully everybody had a great weekend, and hopefully you're all watching this before you take the quiz. Hopefully this is going to kind of help you get through what you need to understand and common mistakes I saw once kids turned in their worksheet. So overall, kids started off pretty well. Just remember, I know this was in the notes, but we'll talk about it real quick here. If you see a division sign, you always keep your first fraction the same. We don't change that at all. We flip the second, so like for number 12 here, this b squared minus b minus 12 would come up top, and b minus 5 would be down below. And then finally, we change the division sign to multiplication. All right? Anytime you see a plus or minus in the denominator or numerator, that means you have to factor probably first. Okay, so like the 9, I don't need a factor first. But b squared, I see an exponent on the variable. That's telling me I need a factor. So I'd have b minus 4, b plus 3 here. Same thing, I see a squared on there with a plus or minus. So this is going to become b minus 4, b plus 3. And then I just have a b minus 5 down there, so I can't cancel. With multiplication, this is just a long fraction line. Anything down below can cancel with anything up top, so my b minus 4 is canceled, my b plus 3 is canceled, just leaving me with 9 over b minus 5. Overall, with multiplication, I found that kids did pretty well with that. Another question I got a lot on was something like 19 or 24, 23, 25. You have n minus 8 times 6 over 10n minus 80. Remember, we can write anything over 1. So this is really like just saying n minus 8 over 1 times 6 over 10n minus 80. You can pull out a 10 here. I can cancel my n minus 8s, and I'm left with just simply 6 over 10. If you just left your answer like that, you'd miss a point. All right, I'd expect you to simplify that down and make that 3 over 5. All right. And that goes for answers like 23, 25, and so forth. Write those over 1 and go from there. Then I want to scroll all the way down to the bottom here because I had a lot of questions on things like these. So first off on 42, yes, here I would expect you to recognize that that's a sum of cubes. That will not be on the quiz or on the test though, so don't spend too much time focusing on that. But let's go ahead and work on like number 44 because I had a lot of kids ask questions on questions like this. We have 3 fractions, all right? The first 2 are being multiplied, so I don't have to do anything there. My last 2, though, are being divided, so I'm going to keep my first one the same, so I'm not going to do anything with that box part. I'm going to flip my last term and then change the sign to multiplication. So now, across the board, everything is multiplication. So I just basically have one long fraction line here. And I have plus and minuses in my denominator, so I need to do a lot of factoring. So I've got x plus 5, x minus 2, x plus 5, x plus 1, 2x plus 3, x, change the sign, should be a plus 2 there, and a minus here. Up top, I should get 2x minus 3, x plus 1. And back here I have a 3 in common. And I have a 4 in common. So now remember anything, so these are all been used up because I've factored all this already. And so anything up top can cancel with anything down below. So I got x plus 5, x plus 5. 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3, x plus 1, x plus 1, 2x plus 5, 2x plus 5. So the key on a problem like this is make sure that you have gathered everything that you did not cancel. So I didn't cancel an x minus 2. I didn't cancel a 3. So up top, 3x minus 2 over, down below, I got an x plus 2 and a 4. So that would be my final answer. All right. The last thing I want to talk about, it's not on this worksheet, but something we talked about in the notes, was something like this. All right, remember we dealt with this on the notes, but we didn't see on the worksheet, so I want to talk about it because you will see something like this on the quiz. Remember, all this is a big division problem. So doing it step by step, the first thing I would do would take x plus 1 over y plus 2 and divide it by x plus 1 over 3. Then we know with division, I'm going to keep my first fraction the same, change to a multiplication problem, and flip the second. Remember, long fraction, so x plus 1's cancel out, and I'd just be left with 3 over y plus 2. Other than that, I didn't really receive any questions on the multiplying, dividing portion of it, so hopefully the quiz goes well, and hopefully this video helps you out.